Kara Sheridan, 58 North Depoali. I just wanted to bring up a concern that I have. I know that the board is aware of some issues at the Augustine Wall site with 24/7 security not being posted at all times at that site. This raises further concern that I have regarding how the site is being monitored, because in addition to that one condition of the 24/7 monitoring, there's 25 other conditions, some of which I believe aren't being adhered to. And this is part of the bigger concern, that if Range is not going to adhere to the conditions that they've set forth in something that's small, this could be happening across the board. So we have to hold them to the letter of what they agreed to as part of the conditions of use. So I had a few questions, starting with, and I'm just referring, just so you know, to the meeting minutes and the additional conditions that were approved as part of the conditional use from the Monday, July 3rd, 2017 meeting minutes. One item here is that their dates for site preparation, construction, drilling, and completion of wells are to be communicated. Just a point to that. The last schedule update that I believe we're supposed to receive, in addition being that we're close to proximity, the township should receive. My first question is, have you received any additional schedule updates from Range Resources? Besides what was communicated on June 4th. Okay. So that said that the construction was going to start at the end of June and continue for 4 to 6 weeks of construction. We're now 9 weeks in, and they're not even any portion through what would be considered construction. There's no well pad, there's no road, and no one's telling us what's happening. So I would hope at a minimum they're telling you. Apparently they're not telling you, they're not telling us. So I'd like to know what's going on. If this construction, they should be giving us a construction schedule and keeping it up to date. That's my first request, if we could ask them to do that. The other part to me is...
Quickly, Carol. Is the board okay with Dawn reaching out to Range to find out an updated construction schedule?
Absolutely.
Okay. Dawn, will you? Thank you.
Thanks. The second part, and honestly, I would please encourage you to drive on North Depoali Road and look at this sad excuse for this protective gate that they put in place. It's literally a completely open field with a gate that is just freestanding in the middle of nowhere. What is this gate going to prevent anybody from doing? I mean, a gate is a gate if it's protecting something that's enclosed. This is like something out of a comedy routine, this random gate in the middle of nowhere. Just drive a truck around this gate and there's no gate anymore. So I plead and I hope that that's not what was intended when we said in there that during any other time, a locked gate designed to prevent vehicular and pedestrian traffic shall be acceptable. That gate isn't protecting anything from anybody. So if they're going to use that as an excuse to say that that is a security measure, honestly, please drive up there. It's a total joke. Okay. Be worried about that. I did have questions. There is something else here in the conditional use about a driveway permit. Do we know if they filed for a driveway permit? I'm sorry, speaking in the microphone.
I believe they did, yes.
Okay, but if we can get any of that, then right to know, right? If they have
Yes.
that. Okay. Another condition on here is an approved off-street parking area for vehicles to stand or be positioned while gaining entrance to the access road and shall be adequate so that it does not disrupt the normal flow of traffic. Pulling over on the side of the road with only half your vehicle on the side of the road, I don't consider that to be approved off-street parking, and there's vehicles up there from time to time, all the time. I don't know if that's what the plan is. Which leads me to another question that has popped up on social media and a lot of folks have concern about. I wasn't at the last meeting, so I don't know what's going on with the lot down at the corner of Miller's Run Road and North Depoali. Was that leased to Range Resources, and will there be truck traffic parked and running through? Is there any information about that?
So unfortunately, because it's not our lot that's leased, that agreement or what they intend to do with it is between Range and the owner of that lot. we don't have currently access to that information.
Okay. But they do have to tell you what their plans for moving of trucks from point A to point B are, right? Like if they plan to use that as a staging area, I mean, I don't think, isn't that something they have to tell you?
From what we understand, traffic is controlled real time between range and the police department. So those logistics are worked out in real time as far as traffic to and from the well site.
Okay, so we don't know how they intend, it's a mystery how they intend to use that lot, right? We don't know what that's going to be for.
We have not been made aware of that.
I do know that on other well pads up in Hickory and that, they don't allow no truck traffic at all between fires or school buses around.
Okay. I know a lot of people are upset about that, just like it's probably going to drive. I know it's not our concern, I guess, because there's nothing we can do about it because it's leased, but I don't know how we approved for a business to be there, if that Thai place is there, if there's no parking for it. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with that. The next item on here was the condition 22, which was range shall provide contact information which will allow representatives of range to be contacted 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if we can't get in touch with anybody, you get voicemail, and they call you back when they feel like calling you back. So I don't think that giving the 1-800 number to Range Resources for us to file our complaints is an okay answer.
So who gave you the 1-800 number?
Yeah, that's been provided us by Jack King on numerous occasions, that we're supposed to voice our complaints about the Range site with Range, and it is a voicemail. So if we want to talk to somebody, we have to call the township, and sometimes we're just redirected to call the 1-800 number, which no one answers.
Does anybody call you back from Range?
Depends when they feel like it.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a dance, right? It's just a flip service. There's no answers that come out of anybody we've contacted there to this point.
I mean, we can reach out to Range and let them know from the township that that is a complaint, that they promised that they would have someone, and that a 1-800 number with a voicemail attached is not. So,
Yeah, my only point of bringing up all this is that somebody should be looking at these conditions, and if they're not doing what they're saying that they're going to do, which in several cases we can already prove that they're not, because they're not giving us updated construction schedules, they're not telling us what's going on, it's intrusive, and I'd like to know what's happening. So if somebody's keeping an eye on it, I mean, we're going to keep keeping an eye on it, and we'll continue to follow up on these things, but it would be nice to know that the township has our back and is asking them to be held to the letter of what they've agreed to do in their agreement. That's it.
Thank you.
Marilyn Hicks, Sir James Drive. To answer some of her questions and let you know, we went on a tour of well sites with Range today. And Range said they have contacted you as a board and said that they requested that they put the construction schedule, when the trucks are going to run, things like that, on your website or your Facebook. And they said you weren't going to do it. So that's what I heard from Range Resource today.
So that is not true. We were never, I'll let you two speak for yourselves, but we were never asked by a Range Resources representative to put construction schedules.
Okay, well, then you need to talk to them because,
We will.
as I said, we were on the tour today and we asked, how do we get the schedule of when the trucks are going to run, when the construction is going to start? And they said they approached the board about putting it on, I think she said the Facebook page, but I guess I don't know anything about that. But she did say she talked to the board about putting this out. So all the public, just not that one area, knows when the trucks and stuff are running.
That will be addressed tomorrow, but we were never asked of that.
Okay. The other thing she stated was about that lot was, yes, they have the lease to the lot, but there is going to be a policeman there for the traffic. My question is, who pays for that policeman?
Range will.
They'll reimburse us for the 24-hour thing.
Well, it won't be 24 hours a day, and Sean, jump in if I'm wrong, but it won't be 24 hours a day. It will be while they will coordinate with our police, while they are running trucks to the site, and they will pay for an official Cecil Township police officer to be at that location,
Okay.
directing traffic.
Well, then I would ask the board, I don't know who on the board, I think you should talk to Range Resource, because they're giving us as
We
people
will.
visiting that you're not cooperating for us to know.
I mean,
You referenced the she. Who did you speak with in range? Who was?
She's the, I don't know her name, I forget her name.
Is her name Jocelyn?
Yes.
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 Well, it was the other girl, there's a girl there that runs the DEP. She has long dark hair. She works with the DEP to make sure all Department of Environmental Protection things are taken care of. She also stated that.
Okay, so just as a bit of clarification from the township's perspective, almost all communication between Range and the township has been running through Mr. King. So I won't speak for you, but based on your shaking of your head, no, that was not something that was ever said to you either.
It was never brought before the board. It was mentioned that they put information on other websites. We have not been asked directly to put anything out or to, reflecting anything going on the obviously on the well pad. There was that delay. Nothing more has been said about it. So I don't know why they would say.
Yeah, that we said no, ever. Okay, so we will clarify that with Range tomorrow. Any other questions or comments?
Is it okay if I just sit?